It's not about B2B or B2C. We are in a human-to-human environment. And I think this is something that we don't need to forget. At the end, also in business, there are humans there. It's our employees, our customer. Please don't forget that.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Engati CX. I'm your host Chandni, and we're really glad to have all of you join us today. On this show, we talk to CX and tech experts from around the world. We explore, uncover, and share fresh insights on creating experiences that your customers will remember and look forward to. Engati is the world's leading multilingual, no-code digital CX platform available across 15 channels with 53,000 solutions created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by Inc. magazine, Tech World, CIO magazine, and many others. We run the Engati blog, video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 500,000 visitors annually. Engati recently also won the Cori 2021 award for being the best AI-driven solution. So let us now welcome today's guest on the show. Gregorio Uglioni is an expert in business transformation, innovation, and customer experience. Gregorio has successfully led several transformation programs, achieving great results, creating positive customer impact while relentlessly nurturing a positive innovation culture. His cross industry engagement for the development of the customer experience science and his in depth know how allowed him to be recognized as an expert in customer experience. He is one of the few customer experts in Switzerland and is the world's first certified ACXS Plus. Welcome to the show, Gregorio. We're glad to have you today.
Ladies and gentlemen, a great pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for your invitation. I really love your podcast, your webcast, and I'm really glad to have a discussion with you. Thank you very much.
The pleasure's all ours, Gregorio. But before we dive into our interview, don't forget to subscribe to Engati and tap on the bell icon below to get access to exclusive content from thought leaders around the globe. So, diving right into the interview, Gregorio, tell us something about your podcast, CX Goalkeeper.
Thank you very much for this question. I started last year during pandemic. I was at home, I was sitting here and I said, now it's really time to decide what to do. Do I want to sit in front of the television and watch movies, or do I want really to create value for me, but also for other people? And I said, let's try it. And then I started last year with my CX Goalkeeper podcast. And now I have roughly 35 episodes. I had a really great discussion with a thought leader in customer experience, transformation, leadership, and digitalization. And I had great discussion and great feedbacks. For example, I already had James Dodkins on my show. I had Annette Franz, Adam Posner, and I think are all people that also were already also on your show. Therefore, I'm really, really happy and thrilled to be here and have this discussion.
That's amazing. We're glad that you could do so much during times which were really not great, and you made such great use of it. That's really great, Gregorio. So moving on to the next question. What are the successful ways of establishing long-term relationship with customers through the development of an effective CX technique?
Thank you. And as usual, I would like to share something like a story or an example, because I could start doing bullet points, but nobody really think that it makes sense. And I know this is a very well-known example, but if you're always speaking about these examples, then it's as a purpose, and it's quite clear why we are discussing about them. Let's take the example of Ritz-Carlton. They defined clear vision. We are, ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen. Based on this vision, we could already have several discussions or several podcasts on that. I don't want really to deep dive into this definition, but for me, clear is that Ritz-Carlton is putting at the same level employees and customer, because the employees are serving the customer and they need to be put on the same level. And they created really simple rules for the employees in order to ensure this long-term relationship. And please don't forget that Ritz-Carlton, the lifetime value of a customer of Ritz-Carlton is roughly $250,000. I repeat, $250,000. And they are investing in their employees with simple rules in order to ensure that this value can be generated and can be created. And they have 3 simple rules. Number 1 is greetings when a customer or a guest is coming. Then the farewell when customers are leaving, always using the name of the customers. And then also empowering them, giving them the opportunity to be proactive and solving their issues. This is this big story that it's always repeated, that each employee is at on average $2,000 at disposal to use them in order to fulfill customer needs. And I think it starts really from top management support, management of a vision, and then all this culture around the customer experience and empowering employees. And also in the book that I wrote together with other 28 people, Customer Experience 3, there I was defining also 3 enablers in order to provide great service to the customer. And these 3 enablers are data, technology, and the human touch. Really shortly, nowadays it's clear. We have a lot of data that we can use and we can leverage, always being compliant with all rules and regulation. And with this data, we can understand the behaviors, how customers are behaving, and we can personalize experiences. Only making one example. On the technology side, there are quite a lot of great products, and you are offering such great products that can really empower employees and customers to achieve what they want, to fulfill their needs. And the technology is so mature that you can use this technology for your employees, but also directly for your customers. And the last piece that for me, it's really important is the human touch. I think there is no machine at the moment that it's able to replicate the human interaction between two person, a customer and employee. And therefore, at the end, the employees make always the difference and can give this additional little bit in order to achieve this great customer experience, this great customer service, in order to create long-lasting relationship. At the end, you need to be happy, and to come back to a company, it means you need to get serviced and you need to empathize with the customers.
Absolutely well said, Gregorio. I mean, the points that you have given will totally help our audience make better customer experience techniques. So, moving on to my next question. According to you, what is the ideal way to become a truly customer-centric business while remaining profitable at the same time?
I think there are really different ways to do that, and there are specific in different industry, and each company is a bit different. There is no one secret sauce that everybody can use and then it will work. But again, back to what we were discussing also with your first question, I think quite a lot of people are always thinking and speaking about automation. We need to automate in order to interact and to service the customer. And there, what I found out, it's a book from Bill Price, written in 2008, and it stated, the best service is no service. And before I deep dive in this book, for me, customer service is nowadays one of the key differentiators in order to create this customer experience that we want to offer to our customer. For example, Chef Icahn would say, in offering amazing experiences, it's not always the best experience and wow moments, but it's really a consistent, superior customer experience to the customer. And based on the fact that nowadays it's impossible to differentiate, that company differentiates themselves only through the products because you can quickly replicate them, then you need to focus on these experiences. From my point of view, and what I'm always trying to explain, is customer service is one of the last departments in a company that are really in direct contact to the customer. And therefore, from my point of view, an amazing customer service, amazing customer experience as defined by Shep Icahn is one of these key roles. And basically, you are also speaking about profitable business, because we are in the business. It's not that all the businesses should be charities and giving away everything. This means that you need to find ways to optimize your servicing setup in order to provide to customers what they need and where they need. This is nowadays clear. They want to have everything now on the channel of their choice, and it needs to work in an effortless way. And therefore, Bill Price defined this matrix, the value irritant matrix. We can share the link to this matrix because it's a bit complicated. What I would like really to point out in this short discussion is it's not only about automation, but it's starting from thinking where as a company can I create value, or as a company, which processes are irritating for me. And the same on the customer side. Which processes create values for the customer, which processes are irritating for the customer. And then you can create a small matrix where you say, for example, if for the company, it's irritating because it does not create any specific value, but for the customer, it creates values. Let's make an example to make it understandable. I need the new personal identification number, the PIN code of my credit card, or I need a new password because I forgot that. Then these processes need to be automated. And there are quite a lot of processes that you can automate, but you shouldn't stop thinking about all the other processes. Let's think about one process to make another example where it's irritating for the customer and it's irritating for the company. And here is, for example, the brand promises, I deliver the shoes to your home within 1 week, and after 1 week, you didn't get the shoes. It's irritating for you, it's irritating for the company. And there you need to eliminate such processes, such interaction, because they are bringing no value, nor for the company, nor for the customer. And there you need really to understand the root cause. Why I was not able as a company to deliver to you these shoes. And then you need to understand, it's the brand promise the right one? Do I need to change that? Do I need to amend my processes? But these interactions are interactions that I don't want to have as a company. Last example, and then I give the ball back to you for the discussion, is what I really think it's key. It's when we can create value added for the customer and we create value for the company, then there perhaps technology is less relevant. These are the interaction that we need to leverage. These are the last interaction where it really makes sense to connect one human, the employees, with one human, the customer, and empathize. And this is the example of the customer willing to cancel a subscription, for example, for a magazine or something like that. Instead of automating this process, let's put these two humans together. The employees need to understand what are the real needs of this customer. How can I create value? Can I offer to this customer something different to fulfill his new needs? And there you need to leverage these opportunities. If you start thinking with this value return matrix, and I hope that your audience understood a bit what is this value return matrix, then you can really stop thinking about customer service as a cost center, but you can start thinking about customer service as a value-generating, customer-centric engine. And then it's not about how many FTs are working in this department, but it's more about how can we empower this really important department to fulfill customer needs and to create value for the company. Back to what Shep Icahn is also always saying, customer service, customer experience, it's not a department, it's a mindset.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned, right, it's very important for customers to be put across face to face with the employees of the company, because unless and until employees truly understand what customers want or what customers need, they won't be able to give that through the product or through the service. And not just not just interacting with customers for the departments like customer service or sales, but marketing, product, and all of these departments also need to start interacting with the customer to understand their needs better. And no matter at what level the person is on the hierarchy in a company, everybody needs to be in face to face with the customer to understand and align towards them. And that's a very well put up, Gregorio. Thank you so much for this insight.
It's a great pleasure. Thank you. And only to confirm what you are saying, as a customer, if I am contacting a company, I'm contacting the company, this brand, and not one specific department. To be honest, as a customer, I don't care in which department you are working, or I am, as an employee, I am working, I am contacting them. And if I contact the company, I want an interaction, then at the end, I know it's a generalization, but at the end, I want to speak with somebody that is competent. He has the know-how to solve my issue. And then if he's able to solve, or she's able to solve my issue, that I want also to empathize. And this is something that only human beings can do. Empathizing with the customer and explaining this is possible, this is not possible, and why. And I think this is key.
Absolutely well said. So moving on to my next question, how can we effectively develop strategic plans that provide the best course of action for creatively solving complex customer issues while at the same time adopting operational excellence?
This is also we would need some hours to discuss that, but to really summarize my answer, I think, again, linked also with what we discussed earlier. The customer is not contacting one department, but they are contacting one company, one brand. And therefore, it's really important to understand what is the customer journey. And based on the customer journey, really understanding where is the customer coming and what is the successful business outcome, if I use the words of James Dodkins. And based on this successful business or successful customer outcome, what this customer want to achieve, I need to create these experiences in order to support him to achieve this. Again, back thinking about this value intent matrix, we picked only 3 examples, the 4th one would simplify, but thinking about the processes that we have in the companies, you can automate, you can eliminate, you can simplify, or you can leverage this interaction with the customer in order to achieve that. And please always don't forget that often the interaction with the company, it's only one part of the real experience that the customer is having. Again, the usual example that everybody's using, if I'm going on vacation, I need to speak with the airline. I need to speak with the hotel. I need to speak with the taxi driver. I need to speak with the restaurants. And I have different contact points, interaction with different companies. And this is important that as a company, I understand that I am only working as a business on one piece of the real big customer experience or customer journey that our customer are having. I wanted really to keep it short. I hope that I made that understandable.
Absolutely. I totally think you have, Gregorio. So moving on to my next question, what are some customer-centric thinking tips for inside the organization that drives continuous customer experience improvement?
Also, there perhaps to picking one big example or one important example, there are quite a lot of companies that are in different phases of this customer-centric transformation. I think we all agree that now we are in our world, we are speaking about experiences and not products anymore. Products is only one step in the experience to grab a product. And I think there it's really important to think about what are, again, the customer needs and how can we interact with the customer. A lot of companies started or are starting, and the first really important suggestion in this transformation is start really having a voice of the customer, having a voice of the employees. And these are tools that are available, and there you can start having also feedback on what you are doing and how you are doing that. And then you can start classifying that and understanding that. with what we discussed at the beginning, also with all the data, it makes sense to get the feedback, analyze the feedback, and take action. I know for some actions or from some requests or customer needs, you need big budgets. And perhaps let's start with easier one that you can really simplify, small operational issues that all the customers are facing that you can quickly solve with, for example, a small process update, process amendment, or with additional explanation to the customer on the web page. And then you can start really creating this transformation. If you start small with the right support, then you can really create value added for the customer from the beginning. And also within the company, you will get always more and more supporter that want to come with you on this customer-centric transformation.
Absolutely well put up, Gregorio. So thank you so much for your insights. So before we wrap up with the interview, are there any other sound bites or tips that you would like to leave our audience with?
I would suggest two of them. One is my sentence, what I am always saying, and I often start my presentation. It's not about B2B or B2C. We are in a human-to-human environment. And I think this is something that we don't need to forget. At the end, also in business, there are humans there. It's our employees, our customer. Please don't forget that. This is one, and based on the fact that we spoke about my podcast, small advertising, www.cxgoalkeeper.com//podcast, you can find a lot of smart discussion about customer experience, transformation, innovation, and leadership. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. One should tune into your podcast to definitely learn more about customer experience. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Your insights are really valuable, and I know our audience is going to enjoy this interview.
Thank you very much. This was really a great pleasure. And I think this is really great in the customer experience community. Sharing is caring. What I learn, I am happy to give back to you. And I also learned a lot from Engati. And therefore, thank you very much for inviting me, for really providing a big value added to the customer experience community and to all the businesses that are using your products and your services. Thank you very much, and keep going, please.
We're glad to hear that. Thank you so much for that. So we'll be back with a whole new episode and a brand new expert soon. So stay tuned and we'll see you around for the next one. Thank you.